Come in, Caleb. My name is Morgan. I'm a social worker here at Safe Landing Counseling Center. I just wanted to say thank you really quick for coming in early to do all of this paperwork. It really does help us out. But first, if you wouldn't mind giving me, a little insight into what's brought you in here today.
Sure. Ever since I got back from my most recent deployment a few weeks ago, the wife and I have kind of been at each other, and it's not really like any different than the last time. So I don't really see why I'm here, but she really thinks I need to come and talk to someone about how much conflict we're having. So
Okay. So yeah, like you said, it does seem like your wife is concerned enough that she's asked you to be here, but you really don't seem to think that there's really anything going on.
no, not really. Like I said, this isn't my first deployment, so reintegrating back at home is a normal thing that we've had to do before. So it's not nothing new. Not to say that arguing is okay, but I wouldn't say it's not normal. But like her biggest thing is like I'm not getting back into like the routine of being home, and my routine isn't like her routine. My routine's always changing. I work a lot. I go TDY a lot to other states during the weeks. I deploy. I have a routine for that, and then I have a routine for being at work, and then I have a routine for being at home. So lots of different routines that I don't really have a lot of control over.
Right.
And it's not like I can just come back home and immediately get back into the home routine whenever I'm still trying to figure out what all those other routines are currently.
Right. Yeah. That does sound like a lot to manage.
Yeah, I mean, it is. She can get pretty demanding when things get a little bit heated, demanding with like chores and things like that. So, but I mean, I know she does do a lot of things to keep the family on track and like keep the appointments flowing and my
Right.
daughter's stuff going. So I understand that, but I need more time to either decompress or like get back into the swing of things and what she thinks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That does sound very stressful. So I'm looking through some of the papers that you filled out for me here, and like you said, it doesn't seem to be your first deployment. Changing day-to-day expectations, especially as often as it seems like you do, that must be very difficult. Deployment expectations are, they seem to be especially demanding. So you mentioned that your wife does put a lot of effort into trying to keep things, kind of normal, kind of maintaining a routine while you're away. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, just to give you kind of an idea of how she does it, like she keeps an old school paper calendar. She writes all that stuff down like months in advance. So she does a lot to make sure that she knows what's coming up. But really, she's just trying to keep things as normal as possible as she can while also still trying to be flexible to some change.
Right. So even though there is always some kind of routine that she's trying to keep, inevitably with life, things change while you're gone. What do you feel might be different this time?
Well, this time, like any time, my daughter is older than what she was, but she's substantially older this time, and she's much more in tune with me leaving and coming home and what that kind of does to the family dynamic. She's picked up softball on top of already doing taekwondo, so she has two extracurricular activities on some days, sometimes one, but pretty much Tuesday through Friday we're very busy until about 8 p.m., which is her bedtime. I know she's stressed a lot. She's really harping on me about the house being a mess right now, and that she has to spend all of her free time keeping up with chores rather than having free time.
All right. Well, I mean, it seems to me that you do recognize how hard your wife is working to maintain, that normal lifestyle. And as you said, you have a young kid. That's very important for them. But obviously, you're also recognizing that transition back into family life may not be quite as easy for you, and that this is causing you some stress.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fairly accurate. You could say that. I know it's things get a little chaotic. I'm definitely lucky to have what I do have after being
Mhm.
married for over a decade now. Um, and she does a good job. Yeah, you
Mhm.
could say that.
Okay, so let's take a second and imagine that you haven't just returned home from a deployment. What are some helpful ways that you normally contribute in the household to manage all of those responsibilities?
Oh, I mean, little things. I take out the trash from inside, take the
Mhm.
trash down on Tuesdays. I definitely take the trash out whenever the weather's bad.
Okay.
That's a thing. Um, I spend a lot of time with our two dogs. We have a new puppy, so that's another thing that's changed. We got a new puppy who requires quite a bit of attention throughout the day, so I spend time with him outside to wear him out. And I do dishes every now and then, and I try to vacuum a little bit. But I mean, those aren't huge.
I mean, those definitely seem like very helpful things. Pets and kids, they always add a little element of chaos. We love having them around, but that doesn't mean that they aren't stressful. You did mention before that your wife is getting stressed out about having to spend all of her free time, catching up on all of these chores. And it seems like this added stress in her life is making her, really get on your case and nag at you a lot more than you'd like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd say it like that. Probably not that bad, but
Mhm.
um, realistically, I mean, there's always something to be done around the house, and there's never enough time to get
Mhm.
everything done. Something is always going to pile up, and you're going to have to take
Sure.
care of it when it comes up.
Sure. We haven't really spent a whole lot of time together this time. This was really just the time for me to kind of get some background information, but it really seems like you and your wife are both having some difficulty with all of the new, stresses that come with you transitioning in and out of the home lifestyle. And it seems like maybe communicating your needs has just been a little more difficult this time.
Yeah, I guess I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I mean, there's no. I'd agree with that. Yeah, but I mean, I really don't know what more I could do than I've already been doing. Like we've done it
Sure.
so many times. Like this is, I wouldn't say this is routine, but I don't know what else I could do.
Sure. So, both of you are experiencing, some different stresses. They might be related when it comes to, being inside the home. Um, but what might a reasonable, coming together, melding of the minds look like to
Um,
you?
I mean, first we really just need to be able to talk
Hmm.
without ending in an argument. That would probably be a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great first step. How might you, want to go about initiating, better communication with your wife?
I don't really know. I guess I'd probably be open to some suggestions at this point.
Okay, that's great. Of course, I can't tell you, what's going to be, the most helpful and the best method, to help you through this, but you definitely have options. Here in the center, you can take part in, kind of like what we're doing here in, individual counseling. We also have providers here that do provide more family support. So that might be something that you and your wife take advantage of together. Having somebody there to help kind of mediate that conversation, kind of help you guys get back into that good routine of communicating in a healthy way. And we also have some support groups. There's a lot of military in the community. So for us, our providers here, we're pretty used to helping, get through, a lot of the issues that military members and their families face. Um, so, I mean, at that point, it would really be up to you if that's something that you might be interested in continuing.
Well, I mean, I can't just commit to something without talking to her first. I
Sure,
don't want to start another argument, but
sure, I understand.
I could definitely bring it up to her and see what her opinion is.
Yeah, that's totally okay. There's absolutely no expectation of commitment right now. That's a really big choice to start making, big changes like that. And, talking with your wife, I think, is also another great way to start, communicating those needs in a more healthy way. But, I've kind of gathered what I need here with you today. And so if you do decide that, you would like to take part in something that we offer here, you are always welcome to give us a call. We're here to work on your time. So I'll let you get back to your day. And I really appreciate you coming in and having this little talk with me today.
Cool. Thanks.